the dark and I'm in the light.
What can I say? It's a
What
balance.
can you say?
We'll
What
balance
can
each
you
other
say?
out, hopefully, and meet in the middle.
Exactly, right? Well, good to be here with you, Dad, and good to be here with all of you, our Shamanic Sundays community out there. Thanks for joining us today. And I just want to, say just not just a casual thanks, but a really sincere gratitude that we are all here together right now. So thank you. And Poppy, would you like to start us off with a morning prayer?
Well, the reason we're all together is because Great Spirit wants us all here and gives us the breath of life. So
Apparently.
might as well go to the source and say, thank you, Great Spirit, creator of this universe, creator of this breath of life. Thank you for believing in us and valuing us enough to give us this life, give us the opportunity of this incarnation, to give us this day. Thank you for our ancestors. We wouldn't be here without you. We remember you here. We make a home for you here, and the ancestor spirits of the land we live on. And thank you for our families and our communities and the gifts you give us in this life to cultivate and nurture the fullest blossoming, greatest good, and to share for the healing of the sacred hoop. And may our joining here today strengthen our ability to show up and be the light and love that we are and that the world needs. Oh,
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. May it be so. So we wanted to talk about flowing with change today because we're going to be changing things up a little bit with Shamanic Sundays. We'll still be here live with you in some capacity on Sunday mornings, but we're going to expand our brand a little bit, so to speak. Dad, do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Well, this is coming from your vision, so I want to just bounce the ball right back onto your side of the court to share your vision of what it is and where it's coming from. I support you.
Yeah. So this is coming from, many of you have heard us talk about the message that came through for me on Vision Quest in 2023 that felt like the earth speaking, saying, I have all the answers you need. You just need to listen to me more. And then a year after that, of carrying that message around, turned into starting work on a documentary film called Listen, about how people are or are not, focusing on the are, how people are listening to the wisdom of nature and what that looks like and shows up in their lives, from how they're experiencing life to things they're creating in the world and the ripple of that. And then we realized it's really not just a film, but it's really actually growing this movement that we are just this little sliver of, because as we've been out there interviewing people for the film, we're like, wow, this is actually a movement. Like, there's so many amazing people doing such beautiful things, listening to that wisdom of nature and translating it into action and beautiful lives, and really this movement. And so then we were like, what if like 1% of the people on our planet were listening, and what might that look like? And that's about 80 million listeners. And so the idea came to us, and we were talking on Vision Quest a little bit with Andrew Smythe, my film partner, creative partner, and then Sharif Salam, who was on Quest this year. And we were talking about like being more intentional about being part of this listening movement and helping to inspire 80 million listeners. So we decided we're going to change the name of the podcast to that. Well, we talked about it with you, Dad, and you were like super gung-ho about it. I was actually kind of surprised. I thought you'd be a little more attached to the Shamanic Sundays, but you were like, yeah, let's do it. That sounds great. And if I remember correctly, you said, let's do that because it opens our aperture even more. Like that, what we're talking about, it fits under Shamanic Sundays, but it also fits very beautifully into just listening to the wisdom of nature, and shamanism being one of the ways that can be a tool, guide people, that can guide us to help listen to nature, our own inner nature, and the big nature, and all of that being that which we're connected to. So Yeah, so we'll still be coming to you on Sundays. Sometimes it'll be my dad and I. Sometimes we'll have guests. Sometimes it'll be Sharif. Sometimes Andrew. Some mix of all of us. But we'll still likely include you, Dad,
No, I'm not
as much
throwing
as
out.
you want. Just kidding. No, I know you. It's really important to you to be here on Sundays for folks. So you'll definitely continue to be a big part of it. So
Okay.
so
Is that a promise or a threat?
you're acting like we haven't talked about this. Just our audience that loves you so much and is like, what the heck is Kimberly doing? They're going to be like, I'm out. But I promise you, this is not a pressure. Dad, can you like share it as enthusiastically with our community as you did when I first brought it to you?
Let me read my script notes here. Hold
Yeah,
on.
right.
Well, I'm excited about opening the framework of what we've been doing to actually anything we want to do that serves the dynamic of listening with
Yeah,
humility to the wisdom that is available to us through paying attention to nature within and without for guidance about how to create responses to the challenges that are befalling the world and nature and people and that are so upsetting and so disturbing and so hurtful to so many. So whatever we can do, I think at this time to open those doorways as big as we can to be a channel for serving that healing, I'm all for it. So let's do it.
yeah, yeah, and that's really what it feels like is just being of service to that greater healing that can come with listening to our own inner wisdom, reconnection to the web of life, and listening more wholly and deeply with that, and as part of nature, um, and really listening to hold on, I got to listen for a second.
Listening to the guidance that comes through. I mean, that's
Yeah,
what you're
yeah,
doing. I'm
to
listening
really
through your guidance, and it feels right. So let's keep going.
yeah, to really use this time together as supporting one another and our community and out there in the world to take what's sometimes referred to as the biggest journey, right? The one between head and heart. And that's such a critical part of listening, because our hearts know what's right, of how to treat each other and the earth and all the beings that we share this world with. So acknowledging also, though, that change can be hard for some people. And we've had a really loyal, wonderful group of people that have showed up, gosh, for over 2 years. We've been doing Shamanic Sundays almost every Sunday.
Wow.
Handful of tech guffaws in there. Shout out to Roger Clay for trying to help sometimes, and all of your patients that were there on the days we did have tech issues. And yeah, so I know that some people are like, wait, what's happening? Is Tom still going to be there for me? And so I thought it would be good to talk about like bringing shamanic tools and the wisdom of our own inner nature and nature into this concept of flowing with change. So would you want to talk about that a little bit?
Flowing with change. Well, the nature of the dance of a human incarnation in this universe is change. It's ongoing change. The river's moving, the waves are coming. It's not staying the same. It's always changing, and so how to be attentive to the changes, because the changes bring new information. They can push because it's pushing us out of our comfort zone of what we were secure in. Well, this is the way it is. This is the way it goes, and all of a sudden that's changing. And if we don't get the information that's coming in with the new waves, you might say, about how to be in harmony and skillful relationship with them, we're trying to live the answers out that came from previous waves from the past. And if we're stuck in it, we're rigid and we're attached and we're holding on, the waves keep coming, we're going to get recycled. So in order to continue to meet the challenge of change is to recognize its opportunity, that paying more attention to what is changing, and what's the information that's coming with those different waves. Let me open to it. Let me pay attention. Let me humble myself and be receptive and attentive and see what that information is, feel it, sense it, listen to it, taste it, get it, and see what it brings up for me. How can I work with whatever the change is that's taking place? How can I work with it skillfully toward what ends? And so each of us has to reflect on what our basic values are about how to live our lives in a good way. So we feel good about ourselves, we feel good about the life we're living, and we're meeting the challenges skillfully. So to hold on to what has been, learn from the past, use it to apply it to the challenges of being present now and whatever it's happening. This last vision quest, when the prayer arrow that I left out overnight on the last night by the sacred fire pit, the dog ate it up.
That's right.
The eagle feathers that were on it all gone, and everything was chewed up. And that was my plan was that I would be using that prayer arrow, not just for that vision quest, but on retreats, monthly retreats, and other fire ceremonies that I do for the rest of the year. That was my plan. But the dog, whose name we found out was Buddha, by eating up my prayer arrow, the teaching was what the human Buddha taught us about, that one of the sources of pain and suffering is when we resist change. It's like standing out in the ocean and staying waist deep in the ocean and saying, I don't like these waves and I'm going to stop it. I like it when it's calm and there's no waves. And so I'm going to use all my energy and fierceness and power and strength and prayers to stop the ocean waves from coming. Well, good luck with that one. Who's going to win that one? So the dance of life is ongoing change. We're living in the river of change. And the more we can be attentive with quality attention to the information that's coming with the waves of change, like on that vision quest, it said, let go of what you were, let go of things, of attachment to things, but also let go of plans. I had this plan to use this prayer arrow for the rest of the year, but that was destroyed. It was taken away. The teaching of impermanence. In a universe of constant change, nothing's permanent. It's always changing. So stay open to the change. Stay open to the new waves of information, new opportunities for new creativity, new ways of doing things. Don't be attached to the old, because they don't serve anymore the changes that are coming. And may we all be strengthened in our ability to open ourselves with humility and attentiveness and receptivity to what the information is that's coming to us in the ways of change, what it triggers in us in response, and how to work skillfully in meeting all of that, how to use it all. Don't waste any of what's triggered. Use it all. How can we use it all skillfully to help us grow in the ways we want to grow, that contribute to the healing of the sacred hoop? May it be so.
May it be so. Thank you. Last night I met this young man named Faisal, and it was at the Illuminate Film Festival, and he was so sweet, and he just had all these questions, and I don't know why he thought I would have answers to them, but he kept throwing them at me. and one of the things he said was like, or what did he ask? I'm going to remember accurately. He was like, well, if everything is like part of this system that's working for the good, then why is there disappointment? And like, how do you deal with disappointment? And I was like, well, you feel disappointed, you feel sad or frustrated or angry or, disappointed is like so many layers of that, right? And grief. And so you feel all those feelings. And then like what you were just saying of dropping into how do you want to show up to those feelings, and how do you want to work with that to be part of healing your own hurts and the big whole hurt out in the world. So it's kind of interesting timing to talk about that, to hear about that, but also just then going back to like nature's wisdom, that like everything's always changing, like the cycles of the seasons, our bodies are women's menstrual cycles. Like everything moves in cycles, and life is just part of the cycle, right? Winter and spring and fall, and the beautiful buds coming out in the spring, and so the
Birth,
pain of
life, death, rebirth, cycles.
yeah, yeah. And so, I mean, gosh, I think one of the hardest change, like a hard change for me has been like Corbin and the boys all getting old so dang fast. Like, I'm so happy and so grateful. They're amazing and they're healthy and living amazing lives. And I miss them being like little and around all the time. And you and Mom say that about Nicole and I. And someone some point said, look back, think, bringing recognition to, and what a blessing that we've had that experience, right? Instead of just wanting it not to change, because that actually would have been a bad thing. What a gift to have had that experience. So that's super helpful to me. Are there any specific, like thinking of change in context of shamanic like ceremonies? I know sometimes people go into ceremony with expectations and or like, oh, it's different than it was at this place or with this person or something, but just, I don't know, any shamanic ceremonial perspectives on flowing with change?
Open to the river, open to the flow, go with the flow. Don't push the river, my friend.
No.
Don't push the river, my friend. Don't push the river, my friend, or you will suffer till the end. Flow with the river, my friend, my friend. Go with the river, my friend, and you can flow to the end. You can flow to the end. How to open to the flow, the infinite Tao flow of the universe, always flowing. It's always flowing, always flowing. How to open our consciousness, our being, our body, our awareness to the flow and join into the flow. See where it wants to go, how to work with it, how to catch the wave and use the power of the wave to help you where you want to go, using that power that's greater than yourself. Right?
I think we should submit those lyrics for your 2025 mantra to Billy Joel, and he could do an update of the River Dream song.
Well, if you got in contact with Bill, let him know.
He hasn't been returning my calls lately. I don't know what's up.
Bad attitude.
I know, right? So could you guide us in a visualization around meeting change and in I want to say like healthy way, meeting change and being part of the flow. Oh my gosh, wait, I have to share. Where was that? Oh, I don't have it with me, but I just saw these like statistics around when we are feeling connected with nature and in flow with the stream of nature as part of that, our productivity goes up like 6,000%. I don't know how they measure this, and then I guess you could figure out how they measure it, and then creativity, so that's productivity. And then creativity goes up like 600 to 700%. So just like meeting change with being in the flow is good for everybody.
But if you think about the flow of the universe, the manifestation of the universe, it's a pretty big power, pretty big wisdom power that knows how to create a universe and maintain that universe, and we're in that universe and it's in us. So let's just drop inside for a few moments here to consciously attune, consciously connect, and consciously commune with the truth that we're living in a universe that's a manifestation of an invisible creative wisdom power that manifests everything we see on the material plane, on the physical plane. It comes out of the no thingness of infinite spaciousness. All that we see in the material world births out of the invisible world. The opening, settling into, dropping down into the truth. that the creative wisdom power of the universe is in us. It's flowing into us with the breath. It's present in every physical and physiological function taking place inside of our bodies that promotes our healing, our health, our wellness. And we're embodied. The physical body that our spirit's living in is embodied in the infinite universe that we see and the invisible. Just letting ourselves, in whatever way you and your awareness experience, and noticing what comes up into your awareness when you bring your mind to the idea, the thought that I'm connected to the creative, infinite creative wisdom power of the universe. It's in me, it's alive, it's strengthened and empowered with each new breath, bringing more of that energy, that chi, that mana, that kapuri from the flow, the creative wisdom power flow of the universe pouring into me. And the understanding from indigenous wisdom, people paying attention to how nature works, the creative powers that our lives are dependent on. We don't create the breath, we don't create the food. We can grow it, but we can plant the seeds for it and cultivate it, but we don't grow it. That's great grandmother growth, what the ritualists call great grandmother growth, an invisible power that comes into that seed that we plant in the earth, and with water and sunlight, and that invisible power, it grows that seed into the potential that's within it for its fullest blossoming and greatest good. And so too within us. And I'm reminded of the saying from Meister Eckhart from, I don't know, the 10th or 11th century mystic, who said that pear seeds grow into pear trees and apple seeds grow into apple trees. And we have God seeds in us. We have God seeds in us. And so what does that mean? To open to the idea that we have God seeds. Refers to a state of consciousness that recognizes there's no separation, that recognizes the essential interwoven oneness of life, of creation, of the cosmos. There is no separation. And to open skillfully and attune and commune with that creative wisdom power of the universe flowing into us with every breath, that indigenous wisdom emphasizes, is you open the door in your awareness to those gifts through gratitude. Grace grows where gratitude flows. Grace grows where gratitude flows. And wisdom guides, and peace abides, and equanimity and serenity thrives deep down at the center of our being. And so when we drop into the center of our being, opening our hearts, and we listen to, what do I have to be thankful for in this life? We all have a good list we can come up with, our problems, our challenges, the things that aren't working, that we don't like, and disturbing and upsetting and anxiety producing and fear. We all have long lists we can come up with that. And without denying any of it, also expanding the bandwidth of awareness, what do we have to be thankful for? What do you have to be thankful on this day that you're given to live? What do you have to be thankful for, that in your heart you're truly thankful for, not from an external voice of conditioning? You say, well, you should be thankful for this. You're ungrateful wretch. Be thankful. You need to be thankful for this. No, letting go of all of that and just dropping down to the truth in your own heart. On this day of being alive, in this moment, being breathed by the universe, what do I have to be thankful for? Listening into our hearts. What's sweet in my life that I'm thankful for? Breathing into it, and then listening to what's the source, whatever it is that I'm thankful for, what's the source, the ultimate source from what I'm thankful for, where it comes from. And then from a place of the open heart, giving thanks to that source, whatever that is for you. Might be nature or the earth or God or the goddess or Billy Joel or whatever it might be for you. What's the source of whatever you're thankful for in your understanding, giving thanks for it from your heart. And so when you open your heart to give genuine gratitude, there is the opening for more of that gift of power, of wisdom, creativity flow, infinite, into you and through you. And what a gift it is to open to that gift of infinite creativity, about how to create a response to whatever the challenge is internally in our bodies, our minds, our feelings, our relationships, our interactions, our responses to what's happening in the world. How can I create a response, a relationship to it that is a skillful one and helps open the doorway? We shall say the Neureka, the doorway, the cosmic doorway, to get that wisdom guidance about how to create that relationship that opens the doorway to bring through the fullest blossom and greatest good of the potential of the situation that you're in. And that's why you're in it. That's why we're in it, those troubling and difficult situations, so we can use them to help us wake up and remember we're more than who we think we are. We have access to infinite creative wisdom power. When we let go of the ego and we open with humility to that power, with gratitude, guidance comes in if we listen. And then we need to call on the courage to act on that guidance, just like with you making the film. That wasn't in your comfort zone. You didn't know how to do that. You have no background, but you had the courage to show up and try to honor your assignment as best you can. And you're in process with that. And so that's a good example. You're a good example of when we get that, if we open up sincerely to listen with humility, that guidance will come. And then we have to call on the courage to step out of the comfort zone and do our best shot with compassion for our humanness. So it's not about being perfect. It's about showing up and coming from our heart and our integrity and our authenticity and our soulfulness and giving it our best shot, letting go of attachment to the outcomes. Outcomes are in bigger hands, but it is in all of our hands, whether we show up and give it our best shot to live the fullest and work toward the fullest realization of our highest potentials for our lives and for this healing in this beautiful and tender and threatened world and time we're living in. And may it be so, fullest blossoming, greatest good, healing of the sacred hoop. Oh.
Thank you. That was beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Gratitude to spirit. I'm just a flunky opening up.
You're a good flunky.
Thanks.
All right. I think we should just say thank you. And hey, I just noticed we're both wearing green. We must have been, I guess our stylists talked to each other, right? So we should wear green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most of my exorbitant salary goes into my stylist.
Yeah, mine too.
Well, I can only afford a t-shirt.
Well, I like that because green is like growth and fertility and health and new good things coming through. So
knock away. Great grandmother grows.
Oh yes, thank you. All right, anything else you want to say today?
Yes, everybody listening, you're a sacred, worthy, luminous being, and you're worthy of respect, care, and consideration and appreciation for your being. Nothing you have to accomplish or do or have, just for your being. You're worthy of respect and care and support. And so sending out love and support for your being and gratitude for your life. Blessings on your life.
Oh, thank you. And back to you, Pops.
Thank you.
Much love to you all. Take care.
Oh, bye.
Okay.